Earlier this year, we brought you a series called Business Behind Bars, and it was then that you met a convict at San Quentin State Prison who was learning to code. Months later, life for that now ex-convict is very, very different, and Jane Wells has that story from San Francisco for us tonight.
Can I ask what your number is? Is that
My CDC number is T31014.
He's a convicted murderer who spent years in prison.
And it's amazing to think that in a few short weeks, I'll be walking out the gates as a free man.
All right, gentlemen, let's grab your stuff.
A few short weeks later, Chris Schumacher did leave San Quentin, free for the first time in 17 years. And get ready for this. He's now a software programmer at a San Francisco tech company.
The code that I wrote will work on any device.
Even he can hardly believe it.
I mean, like this, right? But just my mind is blown.
The story of how a felon learned to code inside a state prison where there is no internet and then got hired by the website Fandom once he was freed is nothing short of a miracle. It's the sort of miracle regularly coming out of a program called The Last Mile, started by Silicon Valley venture capitalists Beverly Parenti and Chris Redlitz. They teach willing, qualified inmates coding skills on a fake server so that when they leave prison, and many will, they can be productive members of society. Many Silicon Valley companies support the program on the inside.
But it's another thing to then have to face the decision individually to say, do I want somebody with Chris's background sitting next to me, working with me?
Fandom's Craig Palmer decided to put his money where his mouth is and give Schumacher the chance to interview for a paid internship. Schumacher went through the same process as everyone else and got the job.
I'm not going to say it was as hard as the parole board, but it was pretty tough, right?
When Chris showed up for his first day of work here in downtown San Francisco, most of his co-workers did not know about his background. They did notice his age.
There were a couple of jokes about who's the old intern.
About a week after being hired, Chris Schumacher told his whole story to the entire company.
The secret was out, right? And of course, it's always nerve-wracking. You wonder how are people going to think. But the feedback and the support has been really positive.
I was, I think, a little afraid, but it turned out great.
Yeah, I was more excited and curious than scared.
But there's been a lot to learn outside the office.
Can we take a selfie?
Like smartphones. Not long after leaving San Quentin, Schumacher and other Last Mile graduates and supporters hiked into the hills above the prison.
I do not miss that place.
Of the 30 Last Mile graduates, none has gone back behind bars. The program is expanding to other prisons and other states. For Chris Schumacher, it's been a long journey of self-improvement, which isn't over.
Where do you see yourself in 2 years, 5 years, 10 years?
Oh my gosh, that's a really hard question. You know, I see myself on this side of the wall, being a family man, being somebody that cares really about life and people, and somebody that's has a strong mind and a strong character.
He hopes to live by a new code. For Nightly Business Report, Jane Wells, San Francisco.